Majin Vegeta is easily my favorite deck out of set 20 Power Absorbed. He has the capability of being aggro, has a lot of good, cheap, strong battle cards, easy to pilot, he has a lot of broken or have access to broken yellow floodgates, and he is like completely on theme of his character. Let's talk about it. So he comes out of the new starter deck, Proud Warrior, pretty much the new one that came out this month, and you'll need two of the decks since pretty much all of the starter deck rares, just like any other starter deck, actually comes with it. And then pretty much the rest of the cards that come with it is okay. There's some yellow staples, but not really, and most of them will be replaced, at least with the list that I'm using. So let's talk about some of the cards that you need to know about. So the first card is going to be actually the leader, which is nothing to write home about. You swing, you draw one, 4 or less life, you get to untap one and draw one. The alternative is that you have 2 or more energy. If you're yellow Sun Goku with the energy cost of 2 or more play, you get to do the same thing, but also take life until you have 5. So it's actually interesting, since most leaders now call for 6, but it actually adds into the Awakened leader, which does draw on the swing, but it also has an activate main battle, which you can tap down one of your Destined Battle Goku or Rainbow Extra Sun's Trunks, and then you can tap down one of their battle cards or unisons. The activate battle plays into it because you can add a card to your life into your hand, and then it gains 5k for the turn. So it's pretty cool that you can do it offensively, but most of the time you're going to be doing it defensively because you can have a 20k leader throughout the entire turn, which is basically a sensu bean, which is interesting to see in a yellow leader. Well, yes, you have to take a life, but you really want to get down to 3 because you end up going through into the Z leader. You need 2 Z energy for this guy. He is free as long as you're at 3 or less life and on top of this specific Vegeta. So they really wanted to make sure this was specific to him and not any other yellow Vegetas in the future. You do have a Z stack of a yellow battle card of 3 or less, which means you take any of the Z battle cards we're going to take a look at in your Z deck and then place that underneath, and you get to play them afterwards, which we'll talk about. Activate main is pretty much the same thing as the Awakened leader, but this time it's going to be a Son Goku or Trunks youth card to switch to rest mode. You get to draw one, which now you don't have to rely on the Goku that we're going to look at, and then switch one of your opponent's battle cards to rest mode. It is a bummer that it is not unisons, because some of the unisons like 18, and as well as the Majin Buu unison, which is now at 1, those are really good to switch to rest mode, for instance. But it is okay. Battle cards are fine. We'll work around it. Plus, you can use the activate main from the Awakened leader, and then use this activate main since they're 2 different cards in the same turn anyway. But the activate battle is sick because you get to add cards into your hand until you have 1 life, and then you get 15k power and double strike for the battle. Then you get to choose all of your battle cards, all battle cards, yours and as well as the leaders, ignoring barrier and then KOing them. So it's actually really, really cool because now you have a defensive and offensive thing, which is sort of the all but nothing sort of effect that you have to go through. This has really come in clutch where you swing, and then if they negate, you can cooler, and then you just take everything. Well, one, you combo everything off your field. You take everything. Combo everything, and then you use activate battle, and then you probably have 2 more cards from your life, and then you dump everything from there. And it's won me a lot of different games. Like this effect is just kind of stupid sometimes. And if they're swinging with a battle card for game, obviously you have this activate battle at any point that not only deteriorates them or deters them from doing it, but also prevents them from taking game in the first place. Talk about the ease of use and just like easy to pilot, but also cheap and strong battle cards. One of the first ones is going to be the Destined Battle, where you pay 1 if you have 2 or more energy, and of course your leader card is a Goku or Vegeta card, and it plays in well with the activate main and battle that you have on your Awaken and as well as Z Awakened leader, where if it's your turn, you get to draw 1 when you switch it to rest mode, and then it doesn't get KO'd by your leader skills. At the start of the main turn, main phase, if you have a Vegeta card in play or in your Z energy, you get to switch it to active mode. So just make sure you have those requirements, because sometimes you just don't don't have them. So make sure you just combo something, put it in Z energy, and then you can switch to rest or to active mode on their turn and gain blocker. 19k blocker. Turn 2 is nice, even if it doesn't have protection. It is kind of an awkward number. They have to get to 20 on their, like if you're going against red, for instance. 4 or less is not very hard against like green and as well as black. And if they're swinging, a 19k block is really, really useful for you just to get ahead of one of their attacks. But overall, Destined for Battle is great. It is just one of your starters to awaken as well, since she's a yellow Goku to put on top of that. The second one is the Rambunctious Sun, which is not as good in my opinion. This one is a when your leader card is a yellow Vegeta card, you add one of your cards, or when you add one of your yellow cards to your Z energy, you get to play from your hand for 1 energy. And if you have 3 more energy and you yellow Vegeta in play or your Z energy, just like the Goku, it gains 5k power and double strike for the turn. I don't think there's anything that restands these Trunkses. It would be nice to just keep swinging with them. But as far as I know, 20k double strike against Unison is usually where I go with these guys. And then when you switch to rest mode, do leader skill, it can't be KO'd by the leader skill. So when you end up doing the all for nothing, take until 1 card into your life, it doesn't get KO'd. So this guy becomes a blocker on the left and he doesn't get KO'd even if you blow up everything. And then this guy is just another attacker going back for the clapback. But the third card is really, really good. It is a 1 energy, 2 or more energy. When you have 2 more energy, that is, you draw 1 and you get to play 1 card. So the draw 1 is really nice because it just happens as far as I know, since it's part of the activate main, you get the draw 1 no matter what, even if they answer it. But it does have Servant, which means it's a 25k. And also when it attacks, you get to choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, 5 or less in rest mode and KO it, which is very akin to a lot of the things you're doing, which you're tapping down battle cards on their end with the leader skill. And then a lot of yellow cards end up doing that anyway, either tapping it down like through routine or something like that, or KOing in rest mode, which is awesome. Then if you have a yellow Goku in play or Z energy and 3 more energy, gains double strike for the turn. So you're swinging for 20k, 25k, draw 1, double strike for 1 energy, and overall it is really, 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 really good. But we're not done yet, because now we have this 4 cost for 1. If your leader card is a Goku or Vegeta card and your opponent has 2 or more energy, just don't get tripped up by that. You play this from your hand. It has double strike and you get to KO something, negate their skills in rest mode, which is super clutch, because there's a few things that have skills when it gets pumped or removed or whatever, and you just say no to that, and it's just a 1 energy, get rid of that with your leader skill, obviously, right? So you tap down something with your leader or with something else like routine, like then, and then you pop something with this, and as well as the servant card. It just doesn't ignore barrier. But that's where that 3 cost the Vegeta that you get from the pre-release Z battle card comes into play. So I don't have it in this deck, but that is something that you can always side in, because you can add Z battle deck cards in your sideboard as well. 20k double strike is really cool, but what about this? 2 costs, 1 Z energy. This is a Z stack, boy. You put the I don't know what am I saying? Yellow battle card from your Z energy or Z deck and put it underneath. Basically, what happens with this? You pay 1. Well, let me back up. You pay 2 to play it, and then you swing, and you get to restand that servant card that was not going to restand during your energy phase, or your switch, whatever, everything to phase. You switch to active mode, and you get to swing with it again, and this gains you KO something in rest mode and gains 10k for the power for the turn. So you get the 25k swing again and a KO. You get to KO with this, and it's a 25k swing. So it was really good just for 2 energy and 1 Z energy. Plus you get to play it from your leader. So that other skill is that if your leader card is a yellow Vegeta and you have a yellow, or if you have a yellow battle card in play this card from your leader, or under from your leader. So you pay 1 and then you get to do that, which is really, really, really cool. One of the other things to know is that during the Z stack, if you do have a yellow battle card underneath it, if you just pay 2 for it, you get to play something like this, where if your leader card is a yellow Vegeta Z leader and you have a yellow Son Goku in play this card from under your leader or battle card. So you get to play it from either way, from what I understand. It's a dual attack for 19k, and when it's played, it can't be removed by skills until the end of the opponent's turn. So it doesn't get around Red's minusing effect, but it is still pretty cool. Can't give it barrier, not that I know of, but it is really good to do that. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards to switch to rest mode, which is basically a way to get rid of blockers if they don't block this attack or another one. So just to keep that in mind. I think a lot of it is probably due to like token negates. So like if you're baiting out one of the swings, you can just have this on field and then just switch that to rest mode if they don't block it. So I think this is a really good card just in general because of the auto and just in the first place, but just a 19k attacker is sweet. Before I talk about my list, just know that the secret that I'm playing is not the best secret, but I've won games with it and I really like it, so I don't care. I will explain that, but let me know what you think about this list and as well as your list if you join the Discord below, and just post in the channels. So again, I know, but let's talk through it for a little bit, right? So the way that I see this deck is that you can kind of pivot back and forth between control little bit because you're yellow and just waiting out and outvaluing your opponent, just making them not feel good about having a turn. You know, not feeling good about, wow, okay, well, you just played all these things and as well as attacked me this many times and this hard, and as well as now I have to deal with the Vegeta, now I have to deal with the Mecha Frieza, now I have to deal with the free negate because you're at 3 or less and it's free. Now I have to deal with Frieza army because you don't really care about your life. Now I have to deal with the 1 cost 30k double strike that has deflect that I can't answer, and these servant guys are just coming down and just making my day harder and harder. I think a couple of these things, like you can go higher on the overwhelming might as well. I just haven't really casted it as much as I thought I would. I ended up using the metal coolers more often than not, but overall I think you play 4 of all the starter deck cards. I used to play Trunks at 3, but because of the leader effect specific to both Trunks and as well as Goku, you don't really want to tap down these guys. This guy's gonna be the best target and people just never remove it. It's at least in the playtesting I've done, he can be easily popped, but just know that he has unique. So if they do pop it, that's kind of good, since you would like to play it again. Because if you have one on field, you can't replace it with itself. Just keep that in mind. But you play these super combos. There is maybe some merit if you play the 1 cost searchers that we have down here, like dependable Trunks, or I think the Kibito Kai also searches for a Saiyan as well. So like there's some merit again, but that Kibito Kai can find this Krillin as well. So keep that in mind. Power of Super Saiyan at 1, always good. Final Flash just to keep everything nice and don't have skills. Like you can just blank something and then choose it with ignoring barrier, basically trying to do. Tap it down, kill it, whatever it may be, right? Swift Retaliation, cool. I almost want to play this at 3 because like at a certain point, like post 4 energy, your Z leader just says like, okay, I'm just gonna go all in if you're at 2, and if I have a cooler, I'm just gonna cooler you and then dump everything, right? So like being a very scary 35k double strike at any point with 2 cards to hand, if you're not really nilly with your life, is really good, right? Again, Trunks is like whatever. Tyrannical Blow because of floodgates. Since you are playing so many things, it's just good just to like be able to swing with them. So like these guys are for 1, like all these other things, your Z deck swings a lot, right? So Tyrannical Blow gets around like Gamma's floodgates, Green's floodgates, if any, Black's floodgates, right? So like it's just anything that they play with battle cards. Freeze armor reinforcements, almost want to play more than these because you awaken to 5, so like playing 3 wouldn't be too much of a big idea or bad idea. You can charge 1 if you really wanted to for Mecha Frieza, and as well as anything else. Also, another reason why I am at 2 for this guy is because sometimes you just end up using your Z energy, so you really need the 2 Z energy, so that way it's costing 1, or else you're just going to be comboing it. This guy is also really good just because it is a barrier blocker that technically restands, and you just have to make them the decision of like, do I want to play this battle card or not? And if they do play a battle card, then you just get to switch it to active mode anyway. But I guess okay, one more thing. Planet Vegeta searches pretty much all of your targets that you want, and it also is really good fodder for energy, and it's just being a card in hand. And you can also search up Awaken Instincts and not secret identity. A secret identity is just there because everything in your deck pops something in rest mode, so you may as well just have something that can pop a lot of different things. Right, so him coming back is really good just as a generic level. So if you didn't have a better option for overwhelm slot, this is going to be the best thing for that, in my opinion. I think overall just a 25k swing is just great, honestly. And sometimes the Awakened Instincts is good because like you just have extra cards in your hand and you just want to get rid of them, especially Planet Vegeta if you don't want to cast it again. But okay, listen, you are number one. Okay, so let me back it up. So you can still play this if you really wanted to. Okay, you can switch something to rest mode, sure, right? You can switch to active, but you can still do the thing. You know what I'm saying? You can draw 1 for 2 energy, play a 30k double deflect, right? Right, okay, but you can take out this guy as well as this guy, and then take out one of your super combos, and then you can you can put in the Goku Vegeta, no, Goku Gohan, and then what am I saying? Gohan Piccolo super combo, and then you can beat at 50. There you go. There's your 50 card list. If I did that math right? 3, take out 1. Yep, okay. So yeah, you can do that. But here's the thing. Shout out to who I saw somewhere playing it or like on DBS Planet. If you got the spice, you got the spice, right? But your number one basically says your leader card is a Saiyan or Earthling card, both mono yellow. Your opponent has 3 or more energy. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, switch to rest mode, and play up to 1 of your Son Goku cards from your deck, drop, or hand. Shuffle if you deck through it, and then it gains 10k power, triple strike, and dual attack. Right? It can't be removed with skills. That's so important. So important. Right? Here's the thing. This guy says triple attack and critical. As I understand, you can choose whatever you want. You can have that triple attack. So there's a 35k critical triple striker that is going to neg something 25k. That's it. That's the only reason I did it. So a lot of the time it becomes where they're open, they have 1 or 2 energy open for something, right? You bait it out with your Z leader to swing if they're at 2 or through 3 or whatever. They negate. If it's not a floodgate, that's cool. You play number 1, you tap down their only energy, and then you're swinging for 35k double strike critical or triple attack critical triple strike, right? 35k minus 25k. Tap something down. Can't be removed, right? The only thing that is kind of an L is the yellow mirror where they time magic you or they do some other stuff like Final Flash, right? Final Flash is kind of annoying too because it can't be removed with skills. It just can't. It can still be negated. I've done it a number of times, and every time I did it, I was happy about it. The only time I wasn't happy about it is when these guys are in my hand and stuck, which is why you run Awakened Instincts and as well as this guy to put it back into your deck and not really, right? So you have these 2 targets for it. At the worst case, you can play this guy, which I mean, he's at least a triple striker, dual attacker, 30k, right? So there you go. The fact that you can tap something down ignoring barrier is awesome because that can be a barrier blocker if you're playing, again, the yellow mirror or the energy for a floodgate, whatever it may be, right? And it's just really cool just to see it swing 3 times and then just go for it. If someone wants to say I'm wrong, you can't choose because it has double strike or double attack, wait, triple attack and dual attack all in the same thing. I'm pretty sure that you can just choose the triple attack and swing 3 times. But either way, had really a lot of fun with this, and I have no regrets. There you go. There's a lot of different cards, right? There's one thing about this game that as it grows and we get into 20 sets, there's so many goddamn cards now, and it's really hard to pick the, I won't say good ones, but like the perfect build. And there's not going to be a perfect build. Like none of the decks that I'm going to be doing this week is going to be a perfect build. It'll be vastly different from others. I've had success with this, and overall a lot of fun, and that's what matters to me. But yeah, the Z deck is pretty normal stuff that we already talked about. Surrounding I've never ever played, to be honest. Oolong is really good if you're playing like Mira, which without further instruction in the format, like it's less good. You can't. Yeah, I mean, I'm really trying to think, like if you're playing the Gohan Piccolo and Mira, Oolong is better. But if not, just play the Goku because there's only one, and you can keep playing after that. So that's my opinion. a lot of other cards to consider, right? There's cyborg cards that I kind of took from like other sideboards in yellow in general, for blue, for 21, for this stuff, release from evil for gamma, right? These guys are all Saiyan-esque things in yellow. Goku Black has always been an awesome card, but you have to pay 2 for it. But you can pay 2 on their turn, so that's what's up. And then tap something down. I mentioned this card because it goes in correlation with the like hand in hand with the you are number 1, so why not? And then Oolong twice for some reason. But that is my list. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I talked a lot. I'm very excited for this deck and just had a lot of fun playtesting it. Been playing it for like the last couple weeks, so it's just, I don't know. Next up is probably 21, and as well as, what was the other one? What's the other one? Oh, Invoker Android 17, which I'm working on right now. So I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe. Bye.